What's going on, guys? Ink DFS back here with another video. We have another NBA DFS picks video. This little series that I'm doing, I go through about 5 guys for the upcoming slate who I really like, give you guys a little bit of insight on each player and why I like them and why I find they're going to be part of my core lineups tonight. Had a pretty good night last night. Hopefully you guys were able to get in some of those guys into your lineups, especially LeBron James. Had a really big night out there in Cleveland. We had a little interaction with him and Kevin Love. Saw that social media all throughout last night and today. As always, if you guys like this video, go ahead and drop me down a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Helps me out, helps me keep growing, and helps us all reach this money together. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the players for tonight's slate. First guy I have on my list here is Alex Caruso. Simply too cheap for a starting point guard, especially one who's in such a great game environment as the one he's in tonight. Chicago versus Milwaukee currently has the highest over-under at 234.5, and also boasts the fastest paced matchup on the slate, which we both know are two great parts of the recipes for point guard success. He's been back for 5 games since his injury, and he got to start at point guard last time out, last night against Toronto. So any minutes limitations should be far gone, as he's been proven to show that he's ready for a starter's workload. Carries massive upside, as not only does he play point guard, which is a position that carries one of the highest ceilings, but he's also a great defensive player who racks up plenty of defensive stats. If you go look at his game logs, you'll see these guys always dishing in double-digit steals and blocks. So really a guy here who can get a couple steals, a couple blocks, and certainly pay off his price tag. He also may have a little bit of motivation tonight, as he got injured earlier this year versus this Bucks team on a pretty dirty foul by Grayson Allen. So maybe he comes out tonight, kind of, looks to stick it to this Milwaukee team and Grayson Allen. So definitely a bit of motivation possibly here tonight with Caruso. Next guy we have on our list here is Jrue Holiday, the opposite point guard in this projected high-scoring affair. No Chris Middleton for the Bucks tonight, so certainly should open up some more shots for Jrue Holiday in this game. Caruso, like I mentioned previously, is now the starting point guard in Chicago, and he's shown that opposing point guards are able to take advantage of this matchup. Just last time out, we saw Fred VanVleet score 45 points against Caruso on a very bad shooting night, only shooting 7 from 22 from the field. So even when his shot wasn't falling, he was still able to, chip into other stat categories and still pay off his salary. So with that in mind, Jrue Holiday should have no problem in this matchup here tonight. Jrue Holiday is also another point guard who can contribute defensively. He's been kind of known as a defensive guy, and he certainly proves that. Crazy steal totals in some games out. As we see in his last game a couple days ago against the Jazz, he racked up 5 steals. So definitely another guy here who can, push up his ceiling even higher, contributing on the defensive end. Next guy I have on our list here, DeMar DeRozan. We featured him last night for him being simply too cheap. Did very well, scored about 45 fantasy points. And now tonight he comes in even cheaper. Way too good to be priced this low. Kind of like I mentioned yesterday, a guy's been scoring consistently, 40, 50-point games, night in, night out, taking about 20-plus shots a game. When you have a guy doing that, 7,800 is way too cheap. And then on top of that, he's projected to be in the highest scoring matchup on the slate. So definitely a guy who should be getting up as many shots as he can, as it's projected to be a high scoring back and forth game. He also has good history versus Milwaukee this year. He's been averaging 45 points over 2 games versus the Bucks, scoring 46 and 44 points in both games. 2 scores that if he was able to match here tonight is definitely going to pay off that price tag. So that reduced price tag certainly gives him a nice little safe floor to exceed value. And historically, we know DeMar this season has been on one, so he certainly has a chance to try to drop 50 bomb here. Another note on DeMar here, we currently have Zach LaVine listed questionable with that knee injury. Might be rested here tonight as they're coming off a back-to-back. So if he's out, definitely fire up DeMar DeRozan, as he should be taking up north of 20-25 shots here tonight. Next guy we have on our list here, pretty common theme as all these guys have been from the same game. We have Giannis Antetokounmpo. We were all over this play last time. He came out against Chicago, and he did very well in that matchup. I believe scoring 66 points. Again, kind of like Jrue Holiday, no Chris Middleton here for the Bucks, so a little more offensive workload should be distributed throughout. Giannis should pick up some more of that workload with his already massive workload that he has on the offensive end. Great matchup just from a basketball standpoint. No really power forwards or no really anybody on the team that can kind of match up with Giannis, especially in the paint. The only guy they really have down there who's a big is Vucevic, but he should be stretched out pretty much from the paint, with Bobby Portis being a stretch big and a threat from the three-point line. So Giannis should be able to come into the paint and dominate as usual. Easily carries a high ceiling and has a very good chance of being the highest scoring player on this slate tonight. Two things that are very important, and that what you want in your lineup on a short slate like this. So this guy's definitely a must, because if he does, score the most points on the slate, you don't have him, you're definitely behind the Powerball. So definitely a guy here you want in your lineups. Last guy on the list here with R.J. Barrett. No Julius Randle for the Knicks tonight, so R.J. Barrett should have a larger workload overall. That'd be rebounding, assisting, scoring, because Julius Randle kind of does it all. So that just opens up more rebounding opportunities, more most assist opportunities, and more shooting opportunities. But one area I'm really interested in is the scoring area, as we already see R.J. Barrett shooting 20 to 25 shots a game. Now we have no Julius Randle in the mix, so we could possibly see R.J. Barrett taking north of 30 shots here tonight and playing near 40 minutes, as he's already been playing about 38 to 40. So they might rely on him pretty heavily tonight, with usage numbers like that, shot attempts like that, and minutes like that. A guy at near 7,000, way too cheap. So definitely a guy I would try to stuff in my lineups tonight. Also gets a good matchup versus the Hawks here, who we've known to give some big games on the wings. Not recently, we haven't seen them in the numbers, due to them playing some pretty underwhelming players at the wings. A lot of role-playing guys, a lot of 3-and-D guys. Nobody who's going to go out there and be the offensive focal point. But we have R.J. Barrett in this spot tonight, and I really like him here. So that's gonna wrap this video up for you. It's gonna wrap this video for you guys here. If you guys like this video, found it helpful in any way, again, drop down a like down below and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys again.